Hello. So it's been a while since I've come on. I'd say about 6 weeks or so since I've been on. As I said in a previous video, I'm kind of struggling with demons at the moment. I spent a lot of time over these past couple of weeks just watching a lot of YouTube videos and films and stuff like that. And, I have a real issue with self-confidence at the moment. There's so many kind of things that I see in with these YouTube videos and stuff that I get rallied up and I'm like, I want to do a video, and then I kind of back away because I know because I can get a bit of irate at times. So, but I wanted to do a video. I need to kind of do a video. I need to kind of speak out. I'm not going to go into my own mental health stuff, but this Amber Heard and Meghan Markle kind of stuff really kind of rally me up a little bit. They really do give women a bad name with their behaviours, and these are supposed to be women that are in positions to raise us up and give us positivity, and they're just portraying us in the worst of lights. I have my own opinions, everybody does. In terms of the whole racist thing with Meghan Markle and the baby speak, with the royals kind of bringing up the colour of the baby, quite frankly, of course they did. It would be reckless of them to think that it wouldn't have been addressed when the baby was conceived and she was carrying it. She was the first black, I wouldn't even say black because she's only half black. She's the first half black civilian, so to speak, kind of to be married into the royal family. So of course it was a big thing. And if there were issues with her mental health, then then I would say that it would have been the responsible thing to discuss the matter, to see how she would have been able to address it and deal with it and stuff. But overall, I think the British public would really embraced this woman, really kind of like they were so happy. It was another kind of fairy tale love story following on from Kate and Will. Finally, when Kate and Will got together, Harry was the third kind of wheel, but he was still embraced in that, and Kate Middleton ensured that he was never kind of left on the sidelines. We can't really say the same for Meghan. Meghan has come in, and really, in terms of support, well, they didn't support me. What she really means is they didn't give her what she wanted, because that's just not the way the royal family works. And we know that throughout history. And those of you that follow the programme The Crown, the amount of hits that the Queen had to take in terms of sacrificing the happiness of her own family members, like her sister and stuff, and even her own children, as a monarch and duty bound to the crown, because the Queen is duty bound to the crown. She's duty bound to the country. And for that, you have to put your personal things aside. So when Meghan Markle goes on about, they didn't support me, I don't believe that. I believe they just didn't give a spoilt brat what they wanted. That's the reality of it. And in terms of the whole discussion about, mentioning the colour of the baby, that was the responsible thing to do, I personally feel. Of course they had to address it. They had to ensure that, if there was any public backlash, which there wasn't, if there was any kind of issue or anything, to ensure that, how will we address it? How will we tackle it? How will we, keep you safe, keep the baby safe? They didn't. Basically, she just didn't get what she wanted. I mean, this isn't Hollywood. We don't just submit to. That's dictatorship, basically. That's how tyrants are born. And quite frankly, the way they've behaved and conducted themselves over in the state kind of legitimizes that. That kind of like really does kind of push it forward. I feel that's my opinion. Amber Heard. I mean, in all honesty, I've only kind of caught up with this whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff. I didn't even realise he'd broken up with Vanessa Paradis until the pandemic kicked in. So in the past 6-7 months, I've kind of caught up with all the videos that are on YouTube and stuff about it, and the continued publicity that is going on Amber Heard, especially with her being over in the UK at the moment. This woman, I personally feel I personally feel that it is a medical condition in terms of compulsive lying, that the people that do it really believe in conviction of themselves of the lie that they are telling. However, Amber was using forceful physical intimidation with people to get her way, to get her want, and that doesn't bode well for me either. I don't like Amber Heard. I don't think she's a great actress. I haven't watched the Diaries. I think I saw Never Back Down years ago, and I wasn't really impressed with the film as a whole. It's not the greatest of films, personally, and I do love race cars and stuff like that. Subarus and all those kind of things, Skylines and stuff. Way before Fast and Furious even came around. So, acting wise, I mean, even in Aquaman, the first one, I wasn't really that blown away with her acting abilities. And I honestly kind of feel that her marriage to Johnny Depp opened up opportunities for her that wouldn't have necessarily have been there for her previously because of her lack of talent. So I think her link to Johnny Depp kind of helped her career, and she's clearly taken advantage of that. There's so much stuff that's kind of out there, her the first time I kind of thought something was askew, and I do remember thinking this, was the Australia and the dog incidents. To me, that seemed like a really rookie mistake when that happened, when I read it. And I do recall rereading it and reading that Amber Heard was his girlfriend at the time and that he'd broken up. And then because it was just a small little thing, I kind of bypassed it and forgot and kind of went back on to thinking Johnny Depp's still married to Vanessa Paradis until this pandemic kicked in and I started getting into all these videos. But there's just so much stuff on her, the Australia thing. I just kind of thought, that's really random for Johnny Depp. This is like an actor that's been around for quite a few decades now. He's travelled the globe many, many times. This is really just a strange thing to be happening. That's a real rookie mistake. Surely his PR and stuff would have organised all of that for him. Why was this kind of thing? So to now know that was Amber Heard's fault goes to show her arrogance as well, her lack of respect for other countries that she was going into and their laws and the reasons for those laws. They don't want to cause pandemics. And that kind of arrogance was definitely shown in those actions there. And I just I just really remember thinking that's just not like Johnny Depp to do. That was just a real stupid thing to happen. It just didn't seem like Johnny Depp would make that mistake after travelling the world so many times with all his films that he's done over the years. So that would have been a red flag for me straight away. The whole prenuptial thing too, her I personally feel if there is sincere love there, you have no problem doing a prenuptial. If you can reach a compromising kind of agreement with each other and say, okay, well, obviously if we're together, then I've started off with nothing and I don't want to lose out at anything do you know what I mean? Like, you come to a compromisation. Obviously, if I love somebody, I don't care who they are and they've got millions or whatever, and they want to sign a prenup. Well, I'm not there for the money, so I'm happy to sign the prenup. Like, fucking, here you go, fucking take it. Let's get on with our lives. That's my mentality in terms of coming together with somebody in a relationship. What's a fucking prenuptial? There's somebody that of course are going to be exposed to people that want to take the piss take. Amber Heard just did it a long way round. And I also have to say, this girl must have like a golden pussy or something like that as well, because look, all these other guys that have been suckered into it. Do you know, I mean, it's not just a case of her wrecking Johnny Depp's life, Leonardo DiCaprio, the Tesla guy, I can never, Elijah, whatever his name is, the Tesla guy, Franco. Oh, I mean, like, I really love Franco. You know, all these kind of other actors that have kind of, without realizing, have been dragged into this on the sidelines. It kind of in a way damages their careers too, because Johnny Depp, come on, he's a respected actor. How can people do that? How can people who have known this man for decades, and I know it's difficult because, you know, sometimes the biggest monsters are the ones that live in the house with you. It's true for Johnny Depp as it ever is for anybody else in the world. You know, you never really know what people, but could these people, these other actors, directors, the people that have been working with him for years, such a small amount of people, his wife, his children, his ex-girlfriends were stepping up. And I'm just kind of a bit, I know it's hard for other actors, established actors, to kind of, they don't want to kind of step in and you know, it's hard. They don't know which way, who's right, who's wrong. But sincerely, were there really people in the industry that really believed this with Amber? Were there really people that really kind of turned their backs on Johnny Depp in this way, that had known him for years, really question it? To have never seen a man lose his temper in that kind of way. Yes, he did drugs. What young actor in their early days didn't get involved? There are still kids. There are still kids now today getting into acting that will eventually get dragged into this drug fest, and then they will pick themselves up. Drew Barrymore. Do we believe that Drew Barrymore is going to go around beating people up? And you know, she was big into drugs when she was younger. I followed her career as a young girl from Firestarter all the way up to Charlie's Angels and films that she's doing now. Johnny Depp, obviously, Charlie Sheen. There's so many of them. And this little young blonde girl comes with a great big smile. Please believe me, batting her eyes. I mean, I'm just not on it. I'm Johnny Depp all the way. I always have been, always will be. The man is a fucking saint. The man's a fucking saint. Like, he gives so much to his time, to charity and stuff. And I saw a video and it kind of broke my heart a little bit. Obviously, we know that one of his kids had health problems and stuff, and was seen at Great Ormond Hospital, just down the road from me, I might add. I'm right in the middle of central London. In fact, Great Ormond Hospital is right opposite the park that I take my daughter to when she was younger. So that's how close he is. To know that this organisation helped him, and his way of thanks wasn't just, he gave money, of course, donations, but he gives so much more than that. He gives his time, he gives his patience, he puts smiles on people's faces, and he didn't just do it here, he does it all around the world. The stories of him going to that young girl's, 12-year-old girl's school for Greenwich, the pirate ship things that he does at Disney, you know, as an actor, he does far more than he needs to. You know, once the film is done, he can just sit back and chill and enjoy it, but he doesn't. He takes on that role, and he's just a giver of life. He's just a giver of life. And this bitch came and took his credibility, his honour, his respectability, just because what? For what? What did she do it for? For what? The only thing that it's done is ruin her career now as well, to throw out all these allegations. the video audios that you hear, he's begging with her, please, let's end this amicably, let's end this peacefully, let's separate, your way you go, I go my way. That would have been beautiful, and they both could have got on with it. And who knows, maybe it would have helped her career, but her path is destructive. She's killed her career before it even really got started off, and I hope Hollywood blacklist her. Yeah, and I just kind of, I feel pity for her daughter. I feel pity for her sister, who she clearly badgered, and beat up on occasions, which was supposedly recorded on a documentary that was never released. The video was never released of it, but it's out there. She beat up her sister and then beat her up some more to kind of like get her to be on her side. I mean, yeah, fuck Amber Heard, she's a bitch. Fuck Meghan Markle, she's a bitch too.